Are Polish women really that traditional? Yes and no, depending what's your point of reference. If you compare us to women in Western Europe, then yes. If you compare us to our grandmothers, then definitely no. So let's talk about it today. And for those of you who don't know me, hi, my name is Dominika, welcome to my channel. The term tradwife became popular recently, and when I think of a tradwife, I think of a woman who's not working, stay-at-home mom, just cooking, cleaning, waiting for her husband, and that's basically it. And that's not Polish women at all. I'm sorry to break it to you, but not at all. In my years of growing up in Poland, I know 3 people who had stay-at-home moms. It really is such a small percentage. When World War II ended and communism took over, both women and men were working. And in the 90s, system changed, but people were like not having the most money, so still everyone worked. And then I just think things stayed this way. Women in Poland make 45.8% of labor force. Also, when I googled it, now there's Google AI, but it says that female employment rate was 66.9% comparing to EU average of 65.7%. Stay-at-home moms are just not really a thing. Sorry to break it to you. And when I think about traditional families, I think about big families with a lot of children, but actually the birth rate in Poland is very low right now at 1.1. People are not having big families with a lot of children. A lot of people in Poland would think that families with a lot of children have no self-control, they cannot provide financially for their children, and I think it's looked down at. So I do think that's something that maybe foreigners have a wrong idea about, that we're popping 10 babies each and there's a lot of really traditional big families. That's definitely not a thing. We have a big birth rate problems, and I do think a lot of it stems from financial insecurities. I do think that a lot of people, a lot of women would choose to have more children if things were more stable. Also politically, things are not the most stable right now. And at the same time, although people don't have a lot of children, I do think that they are family oriented in another way. I do think that people feel the responsibility to visit their parents and take care of their parents. A lot of my friends are seeing their parents every week, and I do think it's very common to talk to your parents on the phone at least once a day for people to make sure that they are fine. So people are definitely family oriented. Gender roles, they are definitely still a thing, but in a different way than maybe some foreigners think. Both of my grandmas were working, but they also were both the only ones cleaning the house and cooking. I think now when I look at my generations, things changed. My friends' husbands or boyfriends, they also cook and clean more, but at the same time, when it comes to dating expectations, there are more gender roles there, still for sure. I still think that men are expected to pay on the first date. Women work, they have their own money, but men are still expected to be providers, to be able to pay for things. And also when it comes to opening the doors, very normal in Poland, very expected. And when I was in school, when I was a child, whenever we were entering the classroom, we were taught that girls enter first and the boys enter second. I even remember when we were getting ready to enter the classrooms, boys would just wait at the end of the hallway and make a free space for the girls to go in first. It was so common for us, and that's kind of a funny story. But when I lived in a dorm, we were a mix of different nationalities, and there was this big Romanian guy, rugby player, very big guy, and one time he came over to the kitchen and he was all like flustered, and I was like, what happened? And he said that he opened the door for the Spanish girl in the hallway, and she got so pissed at him and yelled that she can do it by herself, and that she was offended that he's holding the door for her, and he was so flustered and just so confused. And that just doesn't happen in Eastern Europe. If someone is holding the door for you regardless of your gender, it's a nice thing of them to do, so why are we getting pissed that someone is nice to us? I don't get it. This part makes me laugh so hard. Submission. I don't know why some people would think that Polish women are submissive. Eastern European women, not submissive at all. Nope. They are definitely very feisty, very opinionated, can be like really pushy. I remember just being in school, the girls in the class would keep the boys in check, and then it often continues into relationships. They make sure that their boyfriends also contribute to household chores. And I can see a lot that we have this nagging nature to be telling partners what to do, what not to do. I'm also guilty of that, okay? But I will get an attitude when I want something to be done and it's not done, and I will nag and I will not let you enjoy your game because this needs to be done and you said it would be done already. So you're looking for a submissive, quiet woman, not Polish woman. At the same time, I think Polish women are hardworking and Polish men are hardworking, as I said. So I do see women cleaning and cooking and contributing a lot to the household, doing a lot of things. So they want men to do the same. If they come home from work and then they go straight into cleaning and cooking, they don't want a man to just sit on the couch and watch TV. They want him to contribute as well. And I personally think that maybe some of those foreign men looking for foreign wives maybe sometimes want things to be the easy way, for them not to do anything and have a woman to do everything, and that's not Polish woman at all. Sorry to break it to you. Appearance and femininity. Feminine, okay, not say that word, but that's what it is. Definitely true. When I'm in Poland, I see basically all of the women having makeup in public, wearing jeans and nicer clothes. Beauty industry, it's booming in Poland. There's so many beauty studios in my hometown, and it's very common for women to regularly get their eyebrows plucked and waxed. Now the having fake lips has become much more popular, so that one is definitely true. In the summer you see a lot of girls wearing dresses, and I do think people care a lot about the appearance. I know a lot of women who would get up in the morning and every day as part of their morning routine, when they have their morning coffee, put the makeup on. I do think that my generation got more relaxed with it. I learned to let go, that it's okay at home to not wear makeup and relax a little bit. I also think it's important to mention religion in this video. Catholic religion is very present in a Polish country and a huge part of the culture, and it's really hard to differentiate who's actually truly Catholic and religious and who's cultural Catholic. 71% of Polish people are Catholic, but at the same time around 30% attends the church regularly, and definitely age plays a role here. Older generation, it's really hard to find someone who's not religious and doesn't attend church regularly. My generation, Gen Z, there's definitely a drop. But at the same time, according to the statistics, still a lot of young people go to church regularly. And something that people maybe don't know, in Poland, Catholic religion is a subject in school that we get graded on in a regular secular school. And you have either priests or nuns being Catholic teachers in school, or you can have a secular person. There is a cross in a room. We pray at the beginning of the class. We have tests and exams, and grades from that are included in our overall average. And you can opt out of it, they don't force you. Then if you opt out of Catholic class, then you go to ethics class, but by default you sign up to Catholic. And it's just to show you how Catholic religion is like ingrained in culture, and I think that's why it's hard to really say how religious people they are. At the same time, you have to keep in mind city versus countryside, which I think, of course, in every country, countryside is more religious, more traditional. But in terms of Poland, there's also west versus east, which is comparable to north and south in Italy or the US, where in Poland west is more modern, less traditional, and east is more traditional. I think elections show it very well. I pulled up different maps from different elections, so it varies a little bit, but you can definitely tell that west, the moderate party wins, and east, the right-wing party. And that's why it's hard for me to really say how Poland is, because it's so different. I come from very western Poland, from Zielona Góra, for those who know. So I don't know anyone my age who attends church, but then when I look at the statistics, it shows that a lot of people my age attend church regularly. So I definitely think it's probably more in eastern Poland, in the countryside, I imagine. So I think for very religious people, probably going to eastern Poland would make more sense. Lublin, I've never been there, but apparently it's a very beautiful city in eastern Poland, and they have Catholic university over there. At the same time, that's a historically poorer region of Poland. I really try not to say anything wrong, because west and east makes fun of each other all the time. So I don't want to sound anyway rude about Eastern Poland. People there are definitely more religious, more traditional, but at the same time, I don't know how well their English level is. I think a lot of people maybe from that side of Poland didn't really get out of Poland as much. So in conclusion, I do think that Polish women are traditional, but in a modern way. I do think that the core and the spirit is traditional. I do think that most of the women want to have family, want to get married, want to have children, enjoy making things for their husbands and children, but at the same time, we are not like our grandmas used to be. And I do think that although Polish women give a lot, they also expect that in a return. Because I do think when it comes to being traditional, you need two people making it work for the family, not just women doing everything and making it work, which I think that's how traditional used to be, women taking care of everything, holding everything together, while I think now there's more partnership. Both men and women are doing what they can to keep the house together and the family together. So I do think if you're a traditional man, you would enjoy being with a Polish woman, but if you're a man who just wants to sit at home and do nothing, then that's not gonna fly with us. And on that note, I want to end this video. Let me know if there are some videos you want me to make, something to talk about and research, because I would really like to do that. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye!